Good morning, everybody. It is another beautiful Monday here in Georgia, and I'm sure in the rest of the world. So today's the first of our Monday series. We'll be starting today and meeting every Monday at 7:30 and just discuss a few health issues. So today I want to challenge you all to intermittent fasting. So I usually recommend to my patients to do intermittent fasting on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And why Monday? Because we tend to overindulge during the weekend, and it's a good time to give your body a break and catch up to whatever you ate, Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Alrighty. So my challenge to you is if you haven't had breakfast, go ahead and skip breakfast until noon. You can have a cup of coffee, and then I'm challenging you for the rest of the week to do Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, skipping breakfast. You can have a cup of coffee, and then having your first meal at 12. I recommend doing intermittent fasting between 16 and 18 hours. I personally like doing 18 hours. So I have my last meal at 6 p.m. the day before. Like for instance, yesterday I did overindulge, went out with my kiddos, and we went to Chili's, and I did have. I did have my steak and my broccoli, but I did have more margarita, and I did have part of the chocolate malted cake. I'm guilty. I'm coming out clean. But today is Monday, and there's nothing more beautiful than beginnings, right? That's why people ramp up for New Year's resolution. Well, you have a new year every Monday, right? You have the ability to have a fresh start and get ready every Monday. And then that, if you see a whole year like the week, Monday it is, and then we need to clean up our December, our weekly December. So intermittent fasting is a great way to give your body a break to catch up, and also to reset your insulin receptors and so forth. Also, it has been shown to help maintain your weight without having to over focus on what you eat. So if you do intermittent fasting on Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays, if you think about it, Friday is another good day to do intermittent fasting because you're preparing to indulge most of the times in the weekend. Good morning for everybody that's joining me today. If you think about it again, like I was saying earlier, if you overindulge in the weekend, which most of us will do, it's all about the balance. Then you are preparing, you're kind of getting ready, giving the head start for your liver and your kidneys, that you might have a little bit more sugar, that you might have a few drinks during the weekend. And then Monday, it's like, okay, fresh start, fresh week. It's time to regroup. Okay. So there's many benefits to fasting. So that was one of them. So one of them is allowing the body to reset, especially your insulin receptors, insulin sensitivity, and blood sugars. But also, it helps with weight management. Okay, there's a lot of research out there, and in the era of Googling and PubMed and access to all these things, when you do intermittent fasting, you give yourself a break to catch up, but also you are decreasing the amount of calories you're taking. So you balance your week out, and then you can indulge a little bit more without being like super psycho about the calories, how much I ate, et cetera, and not causing long-term bad effects. Because unfortunately, sometimes our comfort foods or our party foods are not really great for our longevity and our, aging process. Well, intermittent fasting is definitely the key for us that are 40 plus. I was reading a blog during the weekend, and I was laughing so hard because they were all saying how you hit 40 and beyond, and then those 2 glasses of wine just kick your butt the next morning. Intermittent fasting really helps with that as well. All right, so Miss Lima says, I drink coffee with white sugar and milk, but I would like to change that. Only I'm not finding a tasty sweetener. Yes, that is a really hard thing to do. I do have suggestions about that. There are several sweeteners out there that are a lot more palatable. They are based on erythritol and oh my God, the other one, I'm blanking right now. But essentially, sugar alcohols, so erythritol, and it's not inositol, that's the B vitamin, but that are a lot better. They taste a lot more like sugar, but they're not going to be absorbed the way sugar is. It just goes straight through. There's one called SWETE, I think. You can find it in Walmart or any supermarket. Amazon will have a few. Actually, let me, because I have bought one from Amazon before, so I'll look it up for you and kind of share. Sharing is caring and giving is receiving. It's a law of the universe. So those are a lot more palatable. In terms of the milk, in the fasting world, they say that if you take less than 50 calories, is there dirty fat and it won't break the fast. The ideal, it would be black coffee with maybe a sweetener that is not going to affect your insulin levels and your sugar levels. But you can have maybe a little bit of coffee mate or a little bit of coconut milk or coconut cream, because I believe that you have to gradually make sometimes changes. So if you change those things and keep your calories in that coffee less than 50, then in theory, you're not going to affect your fasting as much. All righty. Here we are. I found it. So alrighty, that one is my favorite. It really tastes just like sugar. It has the same feel, and it doesn't have that weird aftertaste that alternative sweeteners will have. And yes, if you like stevia, I personally don't like stevia. It has like a weird aftertaste, so it's not my cup of tea. But I know that a lot of people, stevia comes in flavors and all that stuff. So you can, and it is considered a healthy alternative, because that's going to be really important too. We don't want to do Splenda. We don't want to do aspartame. All right, those are bad for you. Splenda, the component in Splenda, it was actually found as a pesticide. It was in the lab being created as a pesticide, and it happened to be that it landed in one of the scientists' mouth, and he was like, this stuff is sweet. So it didn't turn out to be the greatest pesticide. So they kind of refocused the research towards artificial sweetener. So that's all I'm going to say about that one. So it's not really good for you. Aspartame is associated with cancer. That one is not as used as it used to be, like in the 70s. That was one of the first sweeteners that came out. And then NutraSweet, which was kind of the 80s, 90s sweetener, is associated with multiple sclerosis and early Alzheimer. So either you are, getting Alzheimer, or you got cancer, or, God knows what Splenda is going to do to you. So alcohols, sugar alcohols, it's a good alternative, like erythritol and the other one that I can't remember, because they're not absorbed and they don't really have any big side effects, other than in huge amounts, you're going to get diarrhea. But, a little teaspoon or two in the coffee, it's not going to to be a big deal. Alrighty. Monk fruit is also an acceptable option for those of you who like it. It's derived from a plant, just like stevia. Stevia is actually derived from a leaf. Actually, there's some proponents of stevia that say that it helps with gut flora and with the biofilm. What is the biofilm? The biofilm is, it's kind of a mucousy, thin film that is created by bacteria to communicate with each other. And sometimes that's why it's so hard to get rid of bad bugs in the gut, because they have this communication system going. So some of the followers, the proponents of stevia, say that stevia actually helped destroy that biofilm. So then it gives an advantage to our good bacteria to take over. Okay. I'm going to get that name. Sorbitol, xylitol. Geez, that's what I was looking for, xylitol. So the two most common ones used, so it's xylitol. You can buy that in Amazon. It comes in a bag, or the erythritol. Erythritol is better tolerated. That's the one that is in the one that I show you guys. It's better tolerated by your gut. It gives you less diarrhea than the xylitol, but either one will be fine. They have no major side effects other than the gut issue. And the gut issue is because since they're not absorbed, and all sugars or sugar derivatives, especially alcohol sugars, are going to absorb liquid. So if you take big amounts, then it's going to absorb all this liquid into your colon, and that's where the diarrhea comes in. All right. So thank you all for joining me. I better get back to work. I wanted to give you the challenge. I would love to know, natural honey is not a go. I'm sorry. There, it does have a lot of fructose, and it will shoot up your insulin, and it will increase your sugar levels in your blood, and it has 60 calories per tablespoon. So raw honey has a lot of great benefits because it's antibacterial, it's antifungal. It's a great alternative sweetener for your eating window, but it will mess up your fasting window. Alrighty. All right, so again, I will be doing these little meetings on Monday. Today's was my first one, so I was a little late, which I apologize. I'm trying to get all the computers set up. Actually, I have to pull out the laptop because they're a big computer. Didn't want to do it, but it'll be 7:30 Eastern Standard Time here, and we'll talk about different tricks for youthful living. All right, because there's no reason why not to be 40 plus fabulous and young. All right, so have a great morning. It's going to be a great week. It's very important. Monday is the setup for the rest of your week. So that Monday morning is like January's New Year's resolution. We're going to take over. We're going to control our lives and make it better. So bye-bye.